explained, "It's an allergy from the wool in my scarf." Bess chose to believe her, at least for now. Alva didn't expect to see Alan at the gathering. The man mocked her. "Isn't Secretary Alva supposed to be on sick leave?" Benno stepped in to smooth things over for Alva. Soon, the young men and women started playing drinking games. Alva lost and was asked, "Is the man from your first time here?" Alva thought of her first time in home. It had been in weeks. That was also when she had moved into the Philippines. Alva calmly answered. No, Alan's anger reached its peak. When Alva returned home, exhausted, he found Alan waiting for him. He coldly accused her. "That's fine. Are you really seeking the next contractor?" "How despicable." Furious, Alva shot back. "If I knew what is up to cut off the left foot. Come on, Gladys. One fully invited but found herself lost in memories. Once upon a time, Alan had been so gentle and innocent, treating her with endless care. But since she became the secret lover, Alan's attitude had quietly shifted. She silently reflected that the creation attitude needed to let go. Alan barged into the why not try again? You already tried the kitchen balcony. Albert called me. She worried about me. Alan let the girl go. Alva's refusal displeased her, prompting Bess to coldly ask, "Do you have feelings for Alan?" The tension was broken when Benno arrived, claiming he and Alva were already together. Taking the hint, Alva left with him. Benno, ever the gentleman, looked after her in warmth. He was careful of Bess, she'd spoiled by her family. He then confessed his feelings to Alva. Before things could progress, Alva received news that her comatose mother had been assaulted due to her brother's gambling debts. Without hesitation, Benno used a black card to settle the 5 million yuan debt. When Alan saw photos of Alva with Benno, he erupted in anger. Dragging her into a bathroom, he asserted his dominance and ordered her mother moved to a private ward with no visitors allowed. Terrified, Alva knelt and pleaded, "I'll do anything, just don't harm my mother." Alan coldly responded, "Behave and she'll stay safe." Meanwhile, Benno received a report from his men confirming the success of their plan. They had lured Alva's brother into incurring the 5 million yuan gambling debt and staged an incident at the hospital to pressure Alva. Benno paid the men and sneered, so Alan's weakness is Alva. Alan ordered Alva to kiss him, and she complied willingly, just as Bess walked in. Enraged, Bess slapped Alva, but Alan intervened, warning her that continued arrogance would lead to their engagement being cancelled. Uninterested in their commercial marriage alliance, Alan's threat left Bess panicked, desperate to salvage her childhood dream of marrying. Alva explained her boss was only helping her adjust her contact lenses, and Bess, with her poor eyesight, believed the excuse. Wanting to prove her worth, Bess shifted the focus, suggesting her family could help Alan acquire the Shishan land to build a hotel, fulfilling his mother's wishes. She also brought up Alan's father, Alex, who favored Benno over him, hinting that her family's influence could give Alan the critical support he needed. Alan caressed Alva's face and gave her $1 million bracelet of comfort. At the engagement party, Alva's modest attire drew mockery from Bess's friends, while Bess ignored her discomfort. When warned about Alva's beauty and potential to seduce Alan, Bess confidently hinted that a good show was about to unfold. Alva overheard everything, but with Benno's help, convinced Bess there was nothing between her and Alan. Suddenly, Benno's mother appeared, slapped Alva, and accused her of seducing her son, declaring her unworthy of their distinguished family. Alan arrived and sarcastically remarked, "Did you forget how you climbed to your position?" Revealing her past as Alex's secretary, Alan left Benno's mother humiliated. Furious, Benno escorted her away, her reputation in ruins. When Alva's dress was soiled, a waiter escorted her to a hotel room where she found the gown she had tried on earlier and Alan waiting. Unable to hide his desire, Alan approached, but Alva resisted, reminding him his fiancée was downstairs. Unfazed, he coldly replied, "When I want you, it doesn't matter where we are." After an intense encounter, Alan confiscated her scarf to reveal the marks on her neck and caressed her face, vowing, "I'll make them pay for that slap." Soon after, Benno's mother was exposed for her gambling debts and harshly reprimanded by Alex. Tony, Bess's brother, reached a deal with Alan. Alan mocked. What do you think Alex would say if he found out his most trusted partner wasn't backing his chosen successor, Benno, but rather the son he despises? Tony coolly replied, "It doesn't matter, as long as you marry Bess without issues." Later, Bess noticed a woman's scarf in Alan's possession. Suspicious, she confronted Alva, asking if she knew who the woman in Alan's life was. Alva politely deflected the question, stating she couldn't disclose information about her boss. As Alva submitted her report, Alan's longing gaze lingered on her. He invited her to a candlelit dinner, and though reluctant, Alva agreed as their contract hadn't expired. However, her gambling addict brother delayed her, leaving Alan waiting for hours. Instead of Alva, Chaya, a resentful low-level employee, appeared, hoping to seduce Alan and secure her status. Unbeknownst to her, Bess was secretly watching. Furious at Chaya's audacity, Bess vowed to make her pay. When Alan discovered that his driver had leaked his whereabouts to Bess, he severely reprimanded him. Fortunately, it was Chaya who had shown up that night instead of Alva, sparing her from Bess's wrath. Alan then devised a new plan. Chaya would serve as a decoy to shield Alva from suspicion. Despite her brother's debt of 1 million yuan, Alva was utterly incapable of helping him. She refused his unreasonable demands and returned to work with a heavy heart. Upon entering the office, she overheard Chaya boasting about her new wealthy boyfriend. Chaya intentionally hinted at her connection with Alan in front of Alva, trying to humiliate her. Alva, however, ignored her, fully aware that staying by Alan's side was unwise. Meanwhile, Alan was at home commemorating his late mother. Benno, who was no longer the polite gentleman he used to be, appeared smug. With a sly smile, he remarked, "Your grandfather's inheritance, including the hotel your aunt wanted to build, will ultimately be mine. What do you think your aunt would say if she knew you were involved with the daughter of her murderer?" Alan shot Benno a cold glance, dismissing him as the insignificant opportunist he was. He trusted the board of directors his mother had established would not allow this illegitimate son to run amok. Frustrated, Alan sought out Alva. When she proposed ending their relationship, saying, "You already have Chaya," Alan responded with a cold sneer, "Look at the reality. You're nothing but a purchased plaything. You don't get to decide when this ends." After a heated exchange, Alan later dreamed of his late mother. The dream shook him, and he woke to find Alva beside him, the anguish in his heart evident. "Why," he whispered to himself, "do you have to be the daughter of the person who killed her?" Alan noticed Alva's injured hand, but she brushed it off, saying she had fallen. Not believing her, Alan investigated and discovered Chaya was behind the harm. Enraged, Alan confronted Chaya, crushing her hand underfoot and coldly threatening, "Stop using my name to cause trouble." Though humiliated, Chaya dismissed it, willing to endure anything for the money. Seeking to unwind, Alan took Alva to a hot spring hotel. Though Alva tried to resist, Alan pulled her into his arms amidst the steamy mist, and they shared a deep kiss. Unbeknownst to them, Chaya had followed and, furious at the sight, tried to attack Alva. Alan intervened just in time. Alva, unfazed, told him, "Handle your own issues. I'm not getting involved," and prepared to leave. Alan sternly warned Chaya to stop her antics, but she feigned innocence in desperation, unaware that Bess had witnessed everything. The hotel owner, unwilling to offend Bess, informed her that Alan seemed to have a woman with him. Bess stormed into Chaya's room and offered her 10 million yuan to leave Alan. Yet, driven by greed, Chaya refused. She knew that becoming Alan's wife would bring her far greater wealth and status, so she resolved to cling to him. Infuriated, Bess ordered her men to teach Chaya a brutal lesson. At dinner, the situation grew increasingly absurd. Around the table sat Alan, Bess, Alva, and a badly beaten Chaya. Chaya played the victim, softly complaining to Alan while pretending to pour drinks for everyone. The wine, however, had been drugged. Her plan was simple: to conceive Alan's child that night and use it to oust Bess. Bess maintained a facade of composure in front of Alan, while Alva silently wished to escape the chaos. When the drug began to take effect, Alan sought Alva's help, and the two shared an intense, passionate night together. Meanwhile, Chaya sneaked into Alan's room, only to be met with Bess's wrath. What awaited her was a night of merciless punishment at the hands of Bess. When Alva returned to the office, whispers filled the air. Chaya seemed to have disappeared overnight. A chill ran down Alva's spine. She knew that if Chaya hadn't taken the fall, it might have been her who vanished. Before long, Chaya found Alva. Removing her mask, she revealed a disfigured face, her eyes filled with fear. Too afraid to confront Alan directly, Chaya begged Alva for help, explaining that her condition was the result of Bess's violent actions. Feeling guilty, Alva turned to Alan, asking what to do. She confessed she wanted to end their relationship, fearing Bess's wrath. Instead of answering, Alan pulled her into an embrace, softly promising to protect her and never let any harm come to her. What Alva didn't know was that Chaya's fate wasn't a coincidence. Her disfigurement at Bess's hands was entirely part of Alan's scheme. Chaya had tried to climb the ranks and provoke Bess, proving herself no innocent victim. Alan had already obtained surveillance footage of Bess assaulting Chaya and planned to use it as leverage against both Bess and her brother Tony. If Bess refused to call off the engagement, the footage would be released, utterly destroying her reputation. Tony, in turn, threatened Alan, stating that without his support, Alan would never secure the Shishan land. Alan, already angered, retorted that Tony's family had risen to prominence thanks to his mother. After her death, the Shishan property, once under his mother's name, had been transferred to Tony. Alan vowed to uncover the truth behind it. Alan's decision to break off the engagement set off a chain reaction. Alex, seizing the opportunity, removed Alan from his position as CEO. Alone and drowning his sorrows in alcohol, Alan found a glimmer of solace in Alva's arrival. At least someone still cared for him. He shared a story with her. A princess had once fallen in love with a poor man. After marrying him, the poor man seized her wealth, and the one who had saved the princess ultimately killed her. The story was, in fact, about Alan's mother. Alva felt sympathy, but Alan sank further into his torment. "Why," he muttered, "do you have to be the daughter of her killer?" When Alex learned of Alan's broken engagement, he was furious, accusing him of causing a stock collapse and hurling a vase in anger. Alva instinctively shielded Alan, taking the hit and falling unconscious. Upon waking, she found Alan by her side, taking her to visit her mother, who was nearing recovery. Grateful, Alva listened as Alan said, "Stay by my side and obey, and I'll keep helping you." Just as she reconsidered their relationship, footage of Bess assaulting Chaya surfaced online, forcing Tony to relinquish shares of the Shishan property. Alva realized every step had been carefully orchestrated by Alan. Alva's anger at Alan's shamelessness was matched only by her fear of him. "The last person who has any right to judge me is you," Alan retorted coldly. He seized her in a forceful kiss, warning her never to think of leaving him. Desperate, Alva begged him to let her go, but Alan sneered, "Impossible. Not in this lifetime." Back at the office, Alva narrowly avoided being caught by Bess, who was beginning to suspect her relationship with Alan. Benno stepped in just in time to defuse the situation, though Alva was unaware that Bess had started secretly investigating her. Meanwhile, Benno pursued Alva intensely, offering his help. Feeling cornered, Alva confided in him about becoming Alan's lover to save her mother. Benno hinted at a plan to help her escape. Determined, Alva dressed seductively to distract Alan, who succumbed to her charm. Seizing the chance, she changed into a nurse's uniform and prepared to move her mother from the hospital, with Benno promising to ensure their